So Sniperwolf, she finally did the right thing. She finally owned up to her actions. She is finally committing to bettering herself. She is finally taking proper accountability. Nah, I'm only joking. She's coming back like next week. So in a twist that has probably shocked about 2 people globally, Sniperwolf did lie. There's been a lot of talk about her quitting. She even made a few posts that basically confirmed she was at the very least taking a step back. But now, and it's literally a week later, she has already announced her return. And this is a complete U-turn on what we were led to believe, but who could have seen this coming? Like, I'm sure at this point, no one is holding out for Sniperwolf to have any credibility or accountability. And she's proved us right on that front at least, so fair play to her. So just to take a quick step back, retrospectively, this was the Instagram post that made everyone believe she was quitting. Or if not quitting, at least kind of taking a step back and actually changing stuff. And she also put it up word for word, copy and pasted onto her YouTube community page. So yeah, this was like the uniform PR statement that she did put out across her social medias. And I'm not going to delve into it too much because it has been covered in my previous videos. Yeah, the base level context here is that she said she was taking a step back. She also stated that she was turning off her comments. And ironically and probably conveniently, YouTube on the same day, they announced a new feature which they were implementing to a select amount of creators. And this feature would allow creators to turn off comments or at least pause them temporarily. And just from the timing alone, one could hypothesize that they brought this out for Sniperwolf herself. Or it's just a pure coincidence. I'll let you make your mind up on that one. But yeah, at the end of all this controversy, at the end of the Jacksfilms drama, people were demanding change and Sniperwolf did conform to these demands. And I mean, I say demands, but really they weren't demands, they weren't unreasonable. People were just expecting the bare minimum of her. And I guess because YouTube refused to enforce that upon her, well, the only way to hold her accountable in this situation has been for the community to kind of make videos on her. And I mean, this week, the trend has definitely started to die off. I mean, creators definitely still are making videos on her and all the new stuff that is coming out. I mean, we did one a couple of days ago on the lawsuit, which is kind of happening in the background. But yeah, the volume of videos has definitely lessened considerably. And it's with that point that Sniperwolf seems to be trying to get back in. So last night, she posted on her Snapchat that she would be uploading more next week. And when you read between the lines, this just means that she's going to start making videos again. Because a big point used against the notion that she had quit, it was that she continued to upload videos throughout the controversy. And I can't say this objectively, but in my opinion, I don't think that's a good point at all. Because the nature of a business like Sniperwolf, these videos are going to be backlogged. There has to be some kind of quality control involved in them. I mean, they are worth literally millions of dollars in ad revenue every month probably. So there is, without a doubt, like a conveyor belt of videos ready to go up. And throughout this controversy, they've probably just been feeding through this conveyor belt. And with this in mind, it was assumed that she would quit when these videos ran out. Because, you know, she did state she was taking a step back. And I guess she did technically take a step back, but it's only been a week. I don't know how much reflecting you can do in a week. I mean, maybe a fair bit. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. But yeah, she's getting straight back in the studio. But that's only the first of her lies. Don't worry, there are many more to come. So the next change that the Sniperwolf Corporation did make after this controversy, it was their kind of approach to giving credit to the creators they were stealing content from. Obviously, the whole start of this drama was that her content is just viewing other people's videos. And coupled with that, she was offering like no transformative content. She was kind of just sitting there with her mouth open. And obviously this all kicked off because Jacksfilms did pick up on this. And he made a lot of videos about this content practice. And I guess this content would be so much less egregious if she did credit the people she was watching. Because she offers no content herself. We all know this at this point. The content is what she's watching. And I'm sure you could try and say to anybody making videos on Sniperwolf, well, you are reacting and talking about someone else. And I have seen this argument, but it is completely different. Like, if she actually offered any commentary or transformative sort of opinions on the videos, it would be a completely different story, but she doesn't, so it's not. Yes, with that point that she was forced, I guess, to start crediting creators. And she did it. Fair play to her, you know, you got to give credit where credit is due. But she only did it for like 3 videos in a row. And in her last couple of videos, she just stopped doing this. And I mean, it's such an easy thing to do. I have no idea why she would stop. It does literally nothing but invite criticism and scrutiny on the Sniperwolf channel. But it is Sniperwolf, so really you can't apply logic to her and what she does. But yeah, with the amount of videos I have made on Sniperwolf, I should know by now to not expect any better. So on that one, I'll concede, it's my bad. Honestly, I've got to learn to be a little bit more pragmatic. But either way, that is the second lie associated with her response. And it is important to concede that people do make mistakes. Nobody is expecting like a spotless track record from Sniperwolf going forward. But this is the bare minimum, you know, it's not unreasonable in the slightest. honest. And honestly, what I'm about to say, it's not groundbreaking whatsoever, but I feel like if the whole community is going to criticize someone, they have to at least give her a chance to grow. But I think just these lies alone, in such a short time span, it shows she's not willing to even try. And again, I feel like we all knew this, at least subconsciously, but at the end of the day, it just always does boil down to actions do speak louder than words. And this just completely consolidates the fact that she will not change. And at this point, there is nothing that can be done because the chance has been given. And I mean, a real chance was probably better than she deserved. And to be honest, if it was in the hands of the community solely, she wouldn't have been given that chance. It's purely by the fact that YouTube do favour her as like a cash cow. Well, this was the only reason that she got a second chance almost. If she was a smaller creator or if the context was slightly different. Basically, if she wasn't Sniperwolf, she would not have been given a second chance. And she was given it, but she still refused to kind of take it up and become a better person. Or at least become more responsible, which from a business perspective, like obviously the Sniperwolf channel is oriented around business completely. If not for ethical reasons, if not out of respect for doing the right thing. At the very least, there are like massive financial imperatives to being a good person. Like there are massive financial imperatives to being in the good graces of the community. But not even that was enough. So with that said, I just have no idea what is going on here at this point. I guess if nothing else, at this stage of like the drama, we have learnt like one thing. Sniperwolf will not act right if left to her own devices. It is like genuinely comparable to a child. Like if you're watching over a kid, they won't misbehave. But the moment they get out of your sight, they're going to do what they want to do. And I feel like videos on Sniperwolf play this role. When there's massive scrutiny on her, she will be like subdued. But when the focus starts to shift, when she is essentially in the clear, well, as we've seen here, she's just going to revert straight back. And it's with that I don't see a solution. If YouTube aren't going to step in, it's not exactly sustainable that we make these Sniperwolf videos forever. So I don't see any positive change here, but I probably didn't need to tell you that. It's an interesting conversation to have, but as far as I'm aware, we do have the answer to it now. And it's with that in mind that maybe it's out of our hands. The only accountability that she will face will be on the front of the lawsuits. So I mentioned earlier on in the video that I have done multiple videos on the lawsuits. And obviously because these lawsuits kind of transcend YouTube, well, there is like a massive chance that she is held accountable in court. And with the way it's looking, that might actually be the outcome, because none of what I've seen from any of the lawsuit documents so far has been compelling in her favour. If you are interested in the lawsuit situation with her ex-husband Sausage, well, you can find the videos on my channel. I'll link them in the end screen as well. But the lawsuit talk, it does open another possibility, because I guess the only outstanding question at this point is, where has Jacksfilms gone? Because ever since that video we dropped kind of addressing the doxing, he has not been active whatsoever. And first of all, if his motives were ever in doubt, like a lot of Sniperwolf fans have claimed that he's really been milking the Sniperwolf situation, well, if there were financial imperatives here at play, why would he stop uploading now? Because I guarantee you he could have milked the doxing situation dry. And honestly, milking this situation, it would have brought him in so many more views, and by consequence of that, so much more money. In his hand, he essentially had like the golden ticket of YouTube drama, but he didn't cash it in once, and I think that shows this isn't about the money for him. I think at this point, he is like genuinely upset by YouTube's response, because they did not back him. I mean, she came to his house, we all know that, it's been said a million times, but no matter how many times you say it, it doesn't get any less worse, because no support was offered. In fact, the only response they really had was to compare him to her. And in their tweet where they said she was demonetized, as we all know, they said that he was as bad as her. And it's with this in mind that all the speculation about where he's gone, in my opinion, he probably feels betrayed by YouTube. I mean, he has been on the platform for like over a decade. He's one of the OGs on the platform, and YouTube, they really did leave him out to dry. So with that in mind, I can absolutely see a world where he is completely disillusioned with YouTube. I mean, his whole series on Sniperwolf was ultimately to make the platform better, and it wasn't exclusive to Sniperwolf. You know, he has made a lot of these series on reaction YouTubers. He's spoken about the Sidemen React channel, which is equally as egregious, to be honest. Back in the day, he spoke about Jinx, who was like the progenitor reaction channel. This was never personal for Jacksfilms, but as soon as she turned up at his house, well, let's be honest, it quickly became personal then. And obviously, it is important to concede when talking about Jacksfilms and where he is. Like, in fairness, it is all speculation. The only other overriding speculation I've kind of seen is that he might be suing her. And if there's anything else that Sniperwolf doesn't need, it's definitely another lawsuit. And I have looked into it, but it seems like there's a lot of conflicting evidence and kind of opinions on this. Because some people are saying what she did is illegal, some people are saying it absolutely isn't, and other people are saying it's completely reliant on state laws. And I guess the state that this occurred in is different to the state that she resides in. So it seems to be a very messy and kind of contentious subject. And we can speculate all we want, but honestly, I think we're just going to see in the next couple of days. It's been 2 weeks plus, so like it's natural to expect something to happen soon. And he'll do it in his own time, no doubt. All we can really do on that basis is wait. But whatever happens, don't hold out for Sniperwolf to change in any capacity. If you take anything from this video, let it be that. But yeah, it's with that point that I think this video is done. I've kind of just gone on like a riff here, you know, but my views tell me that people are very interested in this subject. A lot more interested than any of the other subjects on the internet at this point. And all this lying stuff, it just does confirm what we all thought already. But yeah, drop a comment, tell me if I've missed anything, tell me what you think. Drop a like and a sub as well, you know, they all help. We're a small channel. But yeah, it's with that the video is done. We're just gonna have to wait and see what Jacksfilms does and what happens in the future. But with that said, I think I'm gonna go turn up outside people's houses in the dead of night. See, when I say it and when Sniperwolf says it, it has completely different connotations. But yeah, in a bit.